welcome to the Exposure on Citizen Information Network. As we all know the importance of this program, we know that Exposure is a program that educates you, that informs you, and also exposes you to things that you do not know, or give you or shed more light to things that you know already. And guess what? I'm not alone in the studio today. I have here with me BADMUS OLATUNJI.
Hello viewers, good day wherever you're watching us from. So good to be on Exposure.
Yes, BADMUS, we are very, very happy to have you here today. Yes, we are honored to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be on this program and to talk about issues that has to do with social matters and
relationship.
Exactly.
And all. Yes, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Today's topic, we'll be talking about reasons why long-term relationship ends. We'll go on a short break now, and when we get back, we'll give you more details on this topic. Welcome back. You're still watching Exposure on Citizen Information Network. My name is Rebecca IRABOR. Today's topic, we'll be talking about reasons why long-term relationship ends. And before we do that, I would like to let us know that relationship is more like a job. It's something you have to put in work and more effort for it to work out. So it's not just a fairy tale that just work out of the blues. No, you have to put in the work. So I'm so delighted to have here with me BADMUS OLATUNJI, and we'll be discussing this topic together. Reasons why long-term relationship ends. According to research and current comments of people on social media, we get to realize that the reason why long-term relationships do not last is probably because couples do not complement each other. Exactly. In the sense that they, for instance, someone that has a hot temper, someone that easily gets angry, does not need to be with someone who has the same characteristics with him when it comes to dealing with issues. Probably you need someone that is calmer, someone that when you are angry, the person can calm you down, the person can be the cold water while you are hot, you understand? And probably when, for instance, also when you have someone that is too quiet, is too calm, you need a partner that has this tendency of defending you when you don't have the strength to do that for yourself. I believe that when you are on an average level, things will work out well. You know, over the years, people realize that people don't really pay attention to these characteristics of individuals when they are in a relationship. Because sometimes you may not have the energy to do some things for yourself, but when you have your partner to do it for you, you complement each other on those levels. So I would like you to shed more light on this point. Why couples don't, long-term relationships don't last, because couples don't complement each other in some ways.
Actually, before I go straight to the point, I would like to say once again, it's a pleasure having me on the Exposure. And I must comment, you are doing a great job, and more kudos to you, Ebo. Talking about relationship, if we had to look at the word itself, apart from the definition, the dictionary definition, if you look at how it sounds, or if you had to give another meaning to it, you discover that relationship is one thing that need a companion before the word could come into existence. I don't know if you understand.
Yes.
Because if you have to look at a relationship, you cannot be in a relationship with yourself. You need a companion. Yes. And for it to work out, in most cases, we need to know the person we are dealing with. Okay? When I mean the person we are dealing with, let's also use a journey as a metaphor. Okay, for a relationship. Okay, like I am Mr. A. I want to embark on a journey which I don't even know the road to the journey or the right place to take that will lead me there. Okay. And I need a companion to walk through the journey. Now, I don't even know the distance of that journey. Okay? Or how long am I going to take to arrive at my destination? What are the challenges along? I don't know. But yet, I need a companion. Okay? Now, a companion that is actually needed is somebody that will be willing to share similar interests with you or with whoever is involved.
All right, thank you. Thank you for shedding more light on that point. I would just like our viewers to understand that when you are in a relationship, in a long-term relationship with someone, probably a relationship that is 5 years old, you should try and get to know the weakness of your partner. When you identify their weaknesses, you help them to become stronger. When you know that your partner is a weak person, he or she probably has some flaws that may damage the relationship, you tend to identify those weaknesses and you tend to stand as a figure of strength in those aspects of your partner's life. So with this, you guys can complement each other. You can know what the level of each other's strengths and when you need each other the most. The next point we have here is when there is total lack of fun in a relationship. You know, there's some relationship that it's all about work, like normal routine. You see each other indoor all the time, seriousness
like
and all that.
6:30 a.m. You've both gone separate ways.
Yes, there's no fun, nothing
you
at all.
get to
You
see
don't
each
go out
other probably late at night.
Yes.
The other might be on bed. The other party might be on bed while the person involved is just coming
you know,
in.
there's some relationship that they don't go out on dates, you don't hang out with friends together, you don't go out, you don't meet people together. I think such relationship will eventually get boring and one of the partner may get frustrated and get...
Rebbe, actually, let me come in there. One thing I discovered that is that in today's world, people are often more in love with their job, and other things that does not much more matter, like their relationship or like their love life. I don't know if you understand. Let's take a case of a banker, a female banker, for instance. A banker that lives in the mainland that works within the island. Definitely, she has to make sure she leaves home as early as 4:30 a.m. living in Lagos. Now getting to her place of work, it's very, very certain that she will be tired. She will be stressed out, especially when she has to take bus, all of those things. And even getting to the place of work, for the fact that she lacks fun before leaving home. All of those stress, we later be reflecting in our way of doing things. Even the way she might be going around in the office with her colleague might not be very, very okay. Now, if you have to look at it, before getting back home as well, might be late night in the day. And that shows so much interest we place on our job rather than ourselves. Now let's look at weekend, for instance. There are some jobs or there are some nature of job that demands you to go to work even during the weekend. You understand? Now, if you are that religious type, Sunday is for church. You get. So there are some other things in relationship that could be valued, like hanging out once in a while. All of those things, so it actually matters a lot.
Yeah, I actually understand you. The thing is, this point, you gave reasons why sometimes it's not possible for couples to have fun because of work and the job routine and all that. Yes, and you also gave example of people that are religious. Sometimes even on Sunday, you may not have time to hang out with your...
Because, sorry to cut you in, the word fun shouldn't just be limited to making love alone, or emotional, you understand? When it comes to fun could be hanging out with your partner. There are things in relationship that actually got you both crazy when you met each other at first, you understand? So those things should remain as an element of, a certain element that is required to keep the love life going.
Yes, definitely. It doesn't just have to do with sex. Yes, there are some things that you have some memorable experience together. You share some moments that even when you are away for months, you keep on remembering those periods you spent together. So when you are in a long-term relationship, do not let both of you get used to the normal routine. Always do something to spark up your relationship. Go out on dates, have fun together, play games, visit friends together, go for parties together, and always have your quiet, romantic time together. That's very important. Yes. So over to the next point. When two couples have different goals, yes, when you don't have the same direction, when you don't head towards the same direction, it's hard to create a middle ground.
I think we will actually need to emphasize on that, to lay more emphasis on that. Because there are times whereby your goals might be differ, okay? Your goals might be differ, and yet things will be able to work out. And there are times that you have same goals, okay, and things wouldn't work out.
Okay.
You understand?
Can you just give us a scenario for that?
Okay, an example of such is, if you are, okay, let's look at actors, for instance, okay? An actor who got married to an actor as well, they are actually working in same industry, okay? But if you have to look at it, the nature, the characteristics of that job, okay, is something that is very, very complicated to deal with, being an actor. Now, if you're an actor, you get married to an actor, how do you want to do that? You both share the same goals, but can you, as a man or as the woman involved, can you actually bear all of those things involved? Like, okay, you can sit back home and watch your husband on screen, having a romance with someone on set, or you can sit back at home watching your woman engage in a romance with someone, on set, all of those things. So it's not just about the goals. Why sometimes the goals actually help it as well.
Yes, I understand what you're trying to say. But let's take, for instance, whereby a particular couple, they've been in a relationship for probably 6 years. Okay. Then probably the guy just make up his mind that, oh, I don't want to stay in Lagos anymore. I want to move to Abuja. I want to start a new job. I don't like the setting of blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And again, the lady must have had another plans. Probably she wants to stay in Lagos.
Yeah, she might be the one that wants that rural.
She just, she wants this kind of life, and all of a sudden the guy had a change of plan from what they planned together. That kind of change can affect the relationship. And sometimes it could be traveling out of the country. Probably the guy may want to further his studies before settling down, and probably the age is telling on the lady already. You understand? Probably the lady wants to settle down first before they take that step. So sometimes when decisions that may actually affect the relationship comes up, I believe that couples should be considerate when making decisions in a relationship, so that it won't be like you are favoring yourself alone. When you are in a relationship with someone and it's a long-term relationship, definitely you are not joking in that relationship. You want something to work out. That's why you have been in that relationship for long. So I just think that couples should come together and be considerate, consider each other's feelings and how things can work out well if they are truly in love with each other. But in most cases, when couples have different goals, when they have different things they want in life, it tends to affect their relationship.
Also, before we round up that topic, I would like to call your attention. So I'm talking about goals. You see, in life, as we grow up, as we change, so many things about us get to change. Okay. You understand? When two people are in a relationship, the goals, there is this motive that actually brought the both parties together. Yes. You understand? But you discover that as time goes on, they start to lose interest for that certain things that happens to be the bond between two of them. For instance, maybe we are married, I might be married or not, okay, but if I'm in a relationship between first year to second year, I might have the same goals with my partner, okay? But as time goes on, that's the same example you were giving. As time goes on, we might have change of goals, whereby change of ideas, change of goals, change of thought. You understand? But what I actually believe that really matters is that when you love people, you tend to love everything about them. So even when they are changing, you try to change, you try to adapt, to conform to that lifestyle. So that's just it, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. On to the next point. When there is infidelity, it is possible to overcome a cheating incident, but there are some people that can hardly overcome betrayal or recreate trust in a relationship, and that is usually a deal breaker in a relationship. What do you have to say about infidelity?
You see, infidelity, there is no way you talk about infidelity in a relationship without talking about trust, okay? And when it comes to trust, it's a very, very strong thing to just talk about. Trust is not what we can, if we start to talk about trust, we might actually extend this conversation more than what it should be. Now, let's look at it. in every human association, there is meant to be there's meant to be agreement and disagreement.
Yeah.
Okay, so the issue of infidelity is it has to do with you and your partner knowing yourself, knowing your partner. Let's look at it. Why would a man would wanted to cheat at first, or why would a woman wanted to cheat at first?
Yes, that is a very important question.
You understand?
Why do people cheat in a relationship? Why?
Yeah, let's look at this from the genesis, okay? Because if we have to look at this from the genesis, it's still linked back to the fact that people tell lies, okay? Because I think that's one of the reasons. For instance, a man that is not capable enough to satisfy a woman sexually, okay? And the man is putting up this attitude of pretense, not telling the wife what exactly it is. He has a low sperm count, you know, or there's something wrong about his immune system, all of those things. You should be able to open up to the woman. And talking about women as well, it's vice versa. Okay, I've been with a couple of friends, female friends, and I've had one or two things from them, and I get to understand that when it comes to issue like this, we all have what turns us on in relationships.
Okay.
So
that's one major point actually. But I really think that the reason why people cheat in a relationship is the fact that probably there is no attraction. They don't get attracted to their partner like the way they used to. And you know, when you're in a long-term relationship, some seem to forget that you are not married to that person yet. And even if you are married, you still have to keep working on yourself, getting better, looking good,
let me ask you a
and
question.
more
Let me ask you a
attracted to your partner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Hopefully someday you surely get married, right?
Okay.
But by the time you get married, would you be able to keep up with a man whose sexual life is very, very poor?
Okay, we'll come to that. Okay, I definitely.
That is where the infidelity comes in. You understand?
There's another point that actually portray the question you just asked now.
Okay.
But I just really think that when you are in a relationship with someone and there's something you are not seeing in that person and you really want, and that is what you admire in other ladies or probably in other guys.
Yeah.
Probably how they look, how they dress, their charisma, and how they behave and all that. There's a way you can have a communication with your partner to adjust. If probably your partner is the kind of person that is sluggish and you like guys that are really sharp and you understand,
like
you can have that kind of
like
conversation, a mature conversation with your partner. And if you're a guy, like you like your ladies when they are rude or slutty or something like that, not just for anybody, just for you. You understand what I'm trying to say? When they are being nasty and all that, you can actually tell us to adjust for you instead of you going out there seeking for something that you know you can actually talk to your partner about. And if it has to do with physical body composure, probably you're the one that likes ladies that have big boobs and big boobs, and everything has to do with contentment. You know, guys project what they love onto other women, and they make women feel less about themselves. Fine, you are the kind of guy that love fair ladies. Then why in the first place you don't decide to date someone that is dark in complexion? You know your interest is in fair ladies. Go for them. You understand? Probably instead of you dating that person, then later cheating on your girlfriend because he or she is dark in complexion or something. And apart from that,
sorry if I may comment, and I think sometimes we place much value on things that are just temporary. When I mean temporary, somebody being fair, somebody being beautiful, you like them tall, you like them, you know, curvy, all of those things is not going to be forever. You know, what would be forever is the art. You understand?
Yes.
Look for, there's this saying by, I think it's by a Buddhist also, I can't actually remember. It says, seek for the art of a man before you seek for his pocket.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
It's very, very essential in relationship. When seeking for a lady or you're seeking for a man as well, it's good. There's nothing bad when you seek something good for yourself, when you want a good-looking man for yourself, or you want a good-looking lady for yourself. But we need to understand the fact that all of those things are not permanent. They are not going to be there forever. Nobody's going to be forever young. Nobody's going to be forever beautiful. Okay, even if that person is meant to be like that, what if the person is just going by on the road and a bike, that curvy thing you admire, and a bike, you know?
Yeah,
you
that's
understand?
true. The major point is
that's to do with the art,
be contented with whatever you have in your relationship and whoever you are dating. Yes, we'll go on a short break now. Yes, we'll go on a short break, and when we get back, we'll continue with this topic. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Exposure on Citizen Information Network. Now, to the point we have here is when sexual incompatibility of both couples. This occurs when there is different sex drive, and one of the partner can become frustrated. This can end a long-term relationship.
You see, sexual incompatibility. I think if we remember so well, that should be late last year, probably December. There's a pastor, I don't know if it's a pastor or, a pastor, maybe I should call him a pastor. I can't remember the person's name per se, that came up with this issue on social media, and it creates a lot of controversy about knowing about the sexual life of your partner before getting married. Though that created a lot of controversy on the social media, but I think it's a very, very vital part of relationship as well, okay? Because we need to know the strength, the sexual strength, okay? And the sexual life about whoever our partner is. And one of the things that makes relationships so beautiful enough is that, take it or you leave it, anywhere all over the world, under the earth, there is no way you can have a smooth relationship in the absence of sex. Okay? So the sexual life is a very, very vital part of relationship. So we need to know, for instance, if a lady is this type that, okay, now let's talk about a lady. Every lady has a turn-on point, okay? But it's something that they are very, very ashamed to discuss, you know? And if for the fact that I've been in an association of ladies once or twice, I've heard them saying crazy things, okay? I've heard about a lady that actually got turned on through pedicure. Okay. You know, that is something totally out of this space. Okay. And I'm sure she wouldn't be able to discuss that with her man, because the man is not an hairdresser or a nail technician. Yeah. You understand? No, you get that, you understand? So it goes like that. The same with the man as well. You know, there are a lot of men that when it comes to sex, their drive is very, very high. And I think there is a saying that says when it comes to sex, ladies are sensitive or something. I can't remember that word, you know. Okay. I can't remember that quote, but it actually has a lot to do. Because imagine you are the man and probably your woman wants this missionary style, you understand? And you want to go around, you want to dribble from the main post, you know, to the center, you understand, to pass the ball left and right, all of those things.
Thank you very much.
It's very, very relevant.
Yeah, that's an important point anyways. It's very important for couples to be able to satisfy themselves sexually, because that is one of the reasons why most men cheat. And
I will tell you that when you go to places like Lekki, that is why you have so many oga, you know, being helped by their gate man. That's another oga. The women, you understand? Okay. So such thing is a very, very critical issue. It happens everywhere, most especially among the social life. You know, yeah. Okay,
thank you. Thank you very, very much for staying with us on this program. We would really like to continue, but we have some programs that have to come up too. So we'll continue this topic. We'll continue this topic next week. You can reach us on our social media for news updates on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter at CIA Nigeria. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at CIA Nigeria, or log on to our website www.cianigeria.com. Thank you very much for staying with us on The Exposure. We'll continue this topic next week. My name is Rebecca IRABOR, and thank you, BADMUS OLATUNJI.
I remain BADMUS.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us on this program today. Do have a lovely day.
Merci.
Okay,
bye. Bye.